In this video, we're going to take a look at Foliotech, which is the e-portfolio system that's used by UMKC's History Department. To get started, go to www.foliotech.com and then click on the Sign In to your account link that appears on this page. If you don't have an e-portfolio account, speak with your professor and get the contact information for UMKC's Foliotech administrator. Once you've clicked on the sign in link, you will be provided with an opportunity to enter your username and password. Go ahead and enter that. And this should log you into the Foliotech system. Once you're logged in, what you look at is the history portfolio's dashboard, and you see there's a couple different items here. One is a set of tutorials. There's a to-do list on the right, and there's several items here on the left that's part of your assessment portfolio. So you'll notice that there's required history projects, optional history projects, other projects, and course assignments. In this video, we're going to take a look at two sections, required history projects and course assignments. Let's click on required history projects. Required history projects are a set of 5 elements that are required for your portfolio to be certified as complete. A complete portfolio is required to be able to graduate from UMKC's history program. So you'll notice that there's a book review, a term paper, a 301 research prospectus, 498 research paper, and a student choice paper. To upload an element to this item, all you would have to do is click on the item, and then you'd get the opportunity to add a file. You'll notice here that I've already added a file to this particular item, so I don't have to add another one. We'll take a look at course assignments, and you'll find that the mechanism to upload or add files is essentially the same for both these sections. And so let's take a look at that real quick. So course assignments is a section that you'd probably use if you wanted to upload, say, a rough draft of your paper and wanted to share that with your professor to get a review. So to do that, you'd click on course assignments, and then from this particular page, you'd click on the assignments link, and then you'd add your file. So let's do that. Let's click on the add file link. We get a set of different options here. We can either upload a new file or add an existing file. We also have some other options. We're going to stick with upload new file. Click on next, and then now we're presented with an option to upload our file. So let's select the file by clicking on choose file. I have a 498 draft paper here that I can select, so let's select that, and then click open. That selects the file. We can now give this particular file a friendly name, which is just an easy way for us to identify this paper later. So I have one here called 498 draft 1 with revisions. We're going to use that. Once I have that in, I'll just hit OK, and Foliotech shows a little meter on screen to chart the progress of the upload. Because this is a small file, you'll notice that it didn't stay on screen for very long. Now we see our file here in the list, and we may want to request a review. So what we do is check the little box that's next to the file name, and then from up here to the right, click on the request review link. You then get a new window, and you can select the faculty member that you want to share or get a review from. So I'm going to pick faculty test, which is our test faculty member, and I might type a message like, dear professor, please review my first draft. Thanks. Once I've typed in my message, I can then hit OK. And what happens next is a message is sent to that particular professor via Foliotech, and a link is provided to them to this particular paper. Now you'll notice that there are several tabs up here. One is course assignments, of course. Another one is learning objectives, comments, and sharing. Now, once your professor provides you with feedback, that will actually appear here in the comments section. And you'll notice that there's a couple requests that have been put in here. The most recent one is, of course, appears right at the top. And if you'll scroll towards the bottom here, we'll see that I have one that I previously requested and got some feedback on. And here we see the professor saying, you are on the right track, review my suggestions. I look forward to reading your final paper. So this is a great way to get feedback from your professor in terms of your drafts. One item to note is that comments that are listed here are a permanent record of your portfolio. So it is not possible to delete these. You can also share files by using the sharing tab. If you'd like to learn about the learning objectives that were set up by the history program when they first developed this approach, you can click on the learning objective link on the left. Clicking this tab will actually yield nothing. So make sure to click on the learning objective link here on the left. So you see all the learning objectives listed. We can also take a look at the top of the screen, and you'll notice that there's a couple tabs here. So assessment portfolio is what we're looking at now. There's also something called a personal portfolio, and this is just a method that you can use to create a portfolio that is HTML based that you can actually send out to different people, such as future graduate programs or maybe even an employer. There's also Files tab, which is essentially a files repository. You can see all the files that you've actually uploaded previously. It also shows you how much space you have left in your ePortfolio account. So you can see here that I've used 26% of the allotted 100 megabytes. The Messages tab is just a mechanism that notifies you, or where you can see messages that have been exchanged either between you and a faculty member or maybe another student. So that's how the ePortfolio system actually works. It's fairly easy. The personal portfolio is actually quite exciting, and we will probably cover this in a different tutorial. But for now, if you are looking to complete a portfolio because you're graduating at the end of the semester, really the only sections you have to worry about are the required history projects. If you are interested, you can also add some optional projects. These are just suggested projects that the history department has put forth. There's also an other projects section in case you have papers that don't fit into one of the first two categories. So once again, uploading and attaching the file is fairly easy. It's similar for all these sections, just like we did in the course assignments section. Thanks for watching.